Alright, now we actually see everybody passing the license as Sam, which Izuku earlier saw his name, and then everybody else saw their names. Everybody except for Bakugo, who actually lost because of his temper, Todoroki, and Anasa, in which we knew that they didn't pass. Just like in the manga chapter, and right here on the anime, which we actually knew they didn't pass because their arrogance, in which Mira actually gave out the results for the students who pass, which based on the level of below 50, which that's Bakugo, Todoroki, and Anasa, in which they actually had higher results, which they're actually proud of, and they're actually going to get their license, which they're going to use their authorities just like the pro heroes, which is rescuing people, saving lives, even fighting heroes, which only as equals. But for those who didn't pass, they can actually take the extra exam, which they can actually take on April, in which they can actually do that because of the exam they actually fail, which they can actually do that and catch up with them, which Todoroki actually accepted, and which Anasa actually apologized to Todoroki for making him and himself failed the exam. As soon as everybody has gotten their license, Izuku is actually pleased at what he actually done, which Ochaku actually was happy for him, as he actually sends the picture of his license to his mom and All Might, in which we actually knew that All Might is going to be proud of hearing that. But but Izuku actually asks, "Where's Kami at?" But it turns out that Kami was actually Toka, which we already knew that because she actually transformed, which that is her quirk, by ingesting the blood of her victims, in which she actually has Izuku's blood, which she actually has back to her, back to the base with it. So we're gonna go right back earlier to the prison Tartaros, where the super villains are actually held up in there, in which we actually see All Might talking to All for One, which we actually could have knew what going down in that prison, which All Might actually wants to ask All for One the whereabouts of Shigaraki, which he doesn't actually give him the answer, in which we knew that Shigaraki is actually somewhere, and then he actually mocking All Might about his usefulness, his uselessness, and his body for not actually keeping up with the physical ability. In which he actually told him one day the villains will change society, and that's when the visit is over. Which he actually leaves the exit with one for all with a smirk on his face. And that's when, on the ride back home, All Might has gotten a text from Izuku showing him his license, which he actually smiled for that. Meanwhile, back at the UA dorms, Bakugo actually wanted to talk to Izuku later on tonight when everybody's asleep, and that's when the two actually went to ground beta. The first, the first time, well, the first battleground where they actually had their combat exercise. And that is when we actually have the flashbacks of their childhood where Izuku was praising Bakugo for having an amazing quirk, and then we actually see the scenes of that episode. The episode from season one where Izuku told Bakugo that it isn't his quirk. They would go right to the flashback of this season where Bakugo asked Izuku that he made that borrowed quirk his yet. which he actually told Izuku that he actually is sick and tired of Izuku always passing him, which he passed the exam and he didn't. Which every day he actually reached on becoming stronger and becoming like All Might, which they both actually did. Which he actually knew that All Might chose Izuku to be the next symbol of peace, and that's when Bakugo decided to fight Izuku on the same battlegrounds where they first fought. And that is when they're actually going to have their battle soon. Now, we all knew how this is going to end up, which Izuku is going to battle Bakugo, but in the same time, they're actually going to. Alright, which means that we're actually going to see a Izuku versus Bakugo round two. Oops, sorry, round two, in which we're actually going to see who actually going to win, which we actually knew it was going to be Bakugo on that time. So yeah, I can't wait to see it. So anyway, like this video, subscribe for more, and comment on what you think about the anime episode. You guys can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, and like my Facebook page. Until then, this is Anime Guy down here saying sign out. Laters!